My name is Halcyon, and this is Hug Nation. What a treat it is to spend this moment with you. Today, the topic is humble, brag, inspire. I was at an event this weekend, and it was about connection, and it was about how to go deep with people and meet new people and maximize the interactions we have. And I realized that lately that I've been maybe craving more human connection, more friends. And so when this opportunity in this workshop came up, I'm like, I have to go. And at one point in the workshop, one of the exercises was we would like walk around the room and be open and smile and try to just practice being open to people. And then we would stop and they would give some directive to go interact with somebody. And one of the directives was go up to somebody that you normally wouldn't go up to, or someone that you're curious about, and strike up a conversation, ask them what you're curious about. And a woman walked up to me and she said, I'm I'm really curious about some things you said tonight. You shared a lot of things about being anxious and being shy, and I see you as this always smiling, always out there person that's kind of demanding attention. And honestly, I kind of felt like I almost like wanted to hold it back from you because you kind of seem to demand it so much, and I'm so curious. Like, what's the story behind this shyness and this presence? And it was interesting because it was interesting to hear how someone perceives me, and I totally get that. I have that instinct too. If someone is soup, like one of the reasons I have trouble going to concerts is because when everybody's giving attention to the person on stage, it's kind of like I kind of want, where's my attention? And that was kind of what she said. She was like, well, I kind of like, well, if everyone is giving you attention, what about me? How come my needs aren't getting met? Just because he's the one with the pink hair, everyone gets And so that's what I mean. Oh, just because they're an incredible musician, everyone has to pay attention to them up stage playing songs everybody loves and making everybody's lives better. So, unfortunately, the exercise was very short, so I didn't have a chance to really, one, process and think about and give her a good answer. But I did think about it much later during the night, and it's amazing how interconnected it is with so much that's going on in my life. Because on Saturday night, the night before this, we had an event, a fundraiser for First Saturdays, and I read a letter at the beginning of the talk, which is a letter I found just this week that I wrote 15 years ago when I was doing Cocky Bastard and I had long hair and I'll just read a portion of the letter. It seems as though I am at a crossroads. Well, not so much a crossroads, because I don't think there is really a choice. It's just a matter of accepting the flow of the universe into a new area. Crossroads implies I am steering and could choose a path. I am concentrating on not steering, but instead letting the universe flow through me, be a leaf in the stream. This new crossroads is revealing to me that I may have a larger purpose than I thought. The universe may need me to be a leader, to act as a focal point for spreading good energy and love. I know that I do not create those things, but perhaps my gifts will be useful tools for the universe to spread its light. Sometimes it seems so obvious I simply know it. Sometimes it seems so silly and arrogant that I get embarrassed. We are all a part of God. I know this. It is not something I have faith in or believe in. I know it. I feel it. Perhaps my purpose is to help people see themselves in me and then get inspired to get up on the throne where they belong. Too many of us are eagles parading as chickens. Halcyon, December 2001. And so it's really interesting to totally forget about writing this and then be reminded that this decision, this walking down this path of seeking attention as a tool of service, as a way of trying to be an example or trying to role model or trying to be more brazen and loud and flamboyant to give others permission to do so was not a direct desire or need for attention, but was a conscious decision as a way of answering a calling. And I think that as I look back, and people sometimes will when they joke about, I'll say that I'm kind of shy, and people go, yeah, right. I mean, when I wrote that, I was dressing crazy compared to how I dress now, like pink fur pants and my hair all crazy and just pink everything. Like I wanted, when I walked into a social event, people to be like, and suddenly everyone being like, oh wow, I should have dressed crazier. Next time I'm going to dress crazier. And I can see how, the difference between that kind of expression that I was doing, and I still do to a degree, and the expression and the artistic creation of someone who's on stage performing. And I could see how, by me blurring that line, it can be challenging. When I go to a concert, when any of us are going to a performance, there are people who are designated as the artists, and we are the audience, and they share from their place of art, and we receive it. And our culture's really kind of established that paradigm that we have professional artists who deliver us our art, and we taste it and get our fill, and then we go back to our job as consumers. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert is all about this. And this conscious effort to try to be that artistic expression in everyday life was my mission statement, my manifesto, my attempt to try to take radical self-expression from Burning Man principles and bring it into the default world. And yes, people can react negatively to it. It does affect the normal, the pattern that we have, the interaction that we have of don't shine too bright. How dare you? Why should you be so bright? The other reaction, the one that I hoped people would have, is like, oh, I could shine brighter. There's no reason that I can't shine any brighter. In fact, if you can dress crazy when you're an attendee at a party, wait, that means we can all be our art. We can all be expressing ourselves and be artistic in all the choices we make at all times. We are always a canvas in this massive expression, this massive art gallery that is the cosmos. And in fact, at this event on Saturday night that we threw for First Saturdays, we had all these people donated their musician, the DJs, and there were dance performers, and there were artists that donated things for our raffle. And I didn't know everybody that chipped in even. It was so awesome. But there was one point, there was a woman who was dressed all cool and tribal, and I wanted to say thank you to the people who were dancing. And I'm like, oh, are you one of the performers tonight? She's like, oh, no. And I was like, yes! Right on. You're just awesome. You're just dressing flamboyantly. You're just being a performer in the role of you in the world. Not because you've been given permission to be on stage, not because you've been given a title of performer, because you are an artist. Even if you're not flamboyant, whatever it is your choice is, it is a conscious choice of how you present yourself to the world. Or it is surrendering that choice to a cultural pattern and allowing that script to define how you're presented, how you act, how you react. So, we had this event, this fundraiser for Saturdays. It started with a talk that I gave about kind of my path to First Saturdays, this note. And it was great because before we started really dancing and having a good time, it was a chance to kind of make sure everybody understood why we were raising money. Often you go to a fundraiser and you know that money is going to charity, but you don't really feel the connection. So a bunch of people all night long were like, man, I love what you guys are doing. I'm so glad that this can be helpful to you guys. We raised over $1,000, which once we remove my Halcyon massage money, that's like Still $100 left to give to the homeless. I'm joking. Just kidding. I won't take more than half for massages. But we raised a bunch of money. I had a great time. I think a lot of people had a great time. And it was, honestly, I've never really done anything like this. And thank you so much to Crystal Cat, who offered to do the fundraiser, did all the organizing, and really made it all come together. I've been too afraid to do it. And I was prepared for no one to show up. And we had an awesome crowd of people, raised a bunch of money. But one of the things I talked about in the talk relates to all of this, which is that by following the flow, by being a leaf in the stream, by simply allowing myself to do the next thing that felt right, it led here. Years ago, about the time that I wrote that letter, I was getting a lot of criticism from people that were saying, why don't you do real good in the world? You're spreading digital hugs. Why don't you work at a soup kitchen? Do something that matters. And I was like, it really hurt, and it really felt like I had this philosophy or this belief that if I followed this calling, if I went with the flow, if I worked on my hangups and my personal issues and got clear and then followed the flow, I would be of service to the world in the way that I was supposed to be. And so then to have this 15 years later, First Saturdays isn't technically a soup kitchen, but we're a homeless outreach without meaning to, without doing it from a place of should or guilt. It was done from a place of love and connection and simply doing the thing that felt right. Not only that, but that place of being loudly doing this thing, of asking for attention to do so. Because another thing that happened this last week is somebody posted this weekend a note about, if you help the homeless and take a picture of it, you're not doing it for the right reasons, you're doing it for ego, and there was all these people commenting and replying, going, agreeing with that person. And I was like, I'm biased, but I think there's a real value to sharing your good deeds. This woman was saying, I do all this good stuff and I don't tell anybody. And I'm like, how many people could you inspire to doing good deeds if they knew that you were out there doing it too? If they knew this person that they knew was out there, and you were demonstrating it. This is how people act in the world. So, this last week, in response to First Saturdays, little Ray, 12-year-old Ray, donated all the money that he got for his birthday, which he said, I don't want presents, just give me money, because I want to give it to First Saturdays. And he delivered $140 cash to us at the last First Saturdays. 13-year-old Giuseppe, he, after being a super enthusiastic First Saturdays volunteer for months, decided to, because he saw what people needed, he wanted to do a backpack fundraiser or drive, a backpack drive at his school. And so he made a flyer and proposed it to the student body and got it approved. And so he did this Back Up the Homeless backpack drive. And another college woman has become a total regular at First Saturdays. This last time she brought 150 sandwiches in bags with chips and a drink and a note saying, we love you, enjoy your lunch. These children on their own are following their flow and doing good in the world, being their artists, making the world a better place, not because they should, but because it's who they are. And they didn't do it because of First Saturday. They didn't do it because of me. But First Saturdays and what we're doing helped. So to see that 15 years ago I said, I feel like I should do this. And then forget about it and read it and go, whoa, that's kind of the path that I've been on, and it's kind of, there's a lot of times that I feel like I should do more. There's a lot of times when I feel like I don't know why I'm still insecure, and I don't know why I'm still anxious, and I don't know why I'm still not far enough along. And I mentioned this to someone at the workshop who came up to me as I was leaving and said, "You look like a magical being." And I said, "Yeah, and I still, I still need help. I still need." And they said, "Oh, you mean you're having a human experience?" And I was like, "Yeah." So, thank you for letting me share this journey. Somehow I'm still midway on the path after this year after years of doing this. And I'm so grateful to share this journey with you. I love you. Happy Hug Nation. Let's have a hug. Whew. Wherever you are, and in a moment I'll ask you to type in your physical address so we can visualize everybody. But wherever you are, let's let go of where our feet are grounded, where our physical body is, and just tune into our vibration. If you are connecting with my vibration, if you are feeling connected with those in the chat room live and those who are going to tune in later in the archive, if you're here on the archive, those who were here before and will be after, that vibration of being midway on the journey, of being open to love and loving more and being connected and seeking and working to be our highest, best selves. And grab yourself by the shoulders, and as you grabbing not your physical form, but a symbolic representation of all these individuals, and as we being squeezed by all those other people, and in that embrace, in this symbolic hug, let the me dissolve into the we, feeling a part of the one. Each of us a cell in a massive cosmic organism. Visualize the planet and all the beings all around the planet as cells, becoming clear, not individuals, but simply pieces of the whole. And so let's take 3 breaths together in this oneness, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale. Last one. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb, Ray, Giuseppe, all the love warriors, happy Hug Nation. I love you. I got something in my eye. Did you see that? Ooh, wow. Got a little emotional this morning.